Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to Cory's Corner, first one on a Saturday. It'll be a
Nice.
regular thing from now on, so get used to seeing this weird looking face every Saturday. That's right. I welcome everyone that's here watching both replay and live. Hello, everyone. Joining us today is a fantastic startup comic book artist, Elliot Rodriguez. I've been following this young man's art for a couple years now,
Yeah.
and
It's been a while. Yeah.
happens to be working on a comic book. How are you doing today, Elliot?
Yeah. And thank you very much, Cory, for having me. Is a pleasure and an honor to be on your show. And yeah, as you mentioned, we've known each other for like over about 2 years, a little bit more than that. And yeah, I've been always appreciative of your support, and hopefully we can continue with the friendship, and then
Heck yeah.
seeing this comic come to fruition. And yeah, so I'm doing good today. Just kicking it with the family today, and yeah, just hanging out, having a great time.
Awesome. Awesome. So, just a heads up for everybody watching. Again, I'm having internet issues, so if it drops out and Elliot is left to run the stream by himself, just go
Yeah.
easy on him. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna actually give that disclaimer myself, because the last few times that I've tried streaming, I've always been kicked off like about 30 minutes into the show. So just in case anybody, if we both get kicked off, I'm sorry.
Well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, if we get dead air on stream, feel free to talk whatever mad shit you
Amongst
want in the
yourselves.
chat. There you
Yeah.
go. Quick shout out to the chat. We have Writing with Charlie.
What's
Howdy,
going on,
sir.
Writing with Charlie? How you doing, man?
Pleasure to see you. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you start drawing? That's I want to know.
Yeah, I've been drawing since I was 8 years old, and I started drawing in school. And first started with like drawing in art class. They asked us to do these assignments, and so I would do the art and draw stuff. And then after I would hand in my assignment, I'd get like really good feedback from the teacher, and then it gave me the impression that I had an ability with it. And so later, when I discovered comics, I decided to try drawing comics, and I've enjoyed it all throughout high school, and then I took a hiatus from drawing right when I was like about 24 or something like that, and because life, we had things in
Yeah.
life, having a
Life
family,
happens.
finishing
Yes.
university, yeah. So I stopped drawing, and then I decided to pick it up in 2019 after I finished university. And so I had all this free time, and I was like, let me get back into this hobby that I'm so passionate about, that I didn't think I was so passionate about, because I had put it on the back burner. But after picking it back up again, I realized that I have a really sincere passion for drawing, and for just getting better. And so the last 3 or 4 years, I've been just improving art, understanding it, studying it, learning it, looking at all kinds of artists, catching up also with a bunch of artists that I remembered back in the day, and seeing what they're doing now. And I felt last year I felt that I was at a level where I can finally put out a book. And so I decided to take the plunge, and I'm getting and I got a stack of the old drawings that I had back in the day, and I'm looking through the all these pages, and I decided to wipe the dust off this IP this idea that I had when I was in high school. And so I took everything, I took out all the designs and everything, and I decided to go through it and update everything, and try to put out a comic, and see if it's possible, if I could do it, how much can I get done. And yeah, so I've been doing that. I made an official announcement on my channel about a month ago, yeah, almost 3 weeks ago, revealing a lot of the art that we'll take a look at today. And yeah, so I'm in it now, and I'm starting this week. I started a new pinup. I'm going to start pages. Get back on doing more pages next week, and then just keep putting them out until I get the book done.
Heck yeah! And how long is the book gonna be,
Um,
page wise?
the I had originally thought there's a creator in the indie scene. His name is Joe Ball, and he has a comic called Death, Death, Death. And I want to give a shout out to Joe Ball just in case if he watches this. But he has a comic, and his comic is 300 pages long, and it's like one story from beginning to end. It's just
It's a
one and
novel.
done type deal. And I was originally thinking that I was going to do something like that. I was just going to sit and just draw pages because my story it's a long story.
Yeah.
And so I thought that would be a good thing to do. But after actually working on the book, I'm starting to think that I might change my approach to it, and I might break it down into maybe like 8 books or 6 books. I don't know how many books it'll be just yet because I'm still writing the actual main story.
Okay.
I have 3/4 of it done. I'm just working on the ending, just a few little details, trying to make sure that I don't leave any unnecessary plot holes, and then also I want to run it by the editor. So I'm thinking I'm going to do like just small books so I can like at least put out something more often than not. I don't want to wait 5 years before I have a product in my hand. I want to try to maybe get something out next year if it's possible, 2024 maybe. I'll see, but right now, just to get things started, to start building up some hype, I'm doing a 10-page preview, and that has nothing to do. It's not at all connected canon wise with the main story. It's just a preview. Just giving you guys a glimpse of the art style that you can expect in the book, giving you guys a glimpse of who these characters are, what their abilities are, what things they can do. And just having fun because these 10 pages is just all action. It's just an action it's a fight scene, and I just want to just have fun with it, and hopefully get some people hooked onto what it is that I'm working on, and to give the people something also while I'm creating the actual book, and so yeah, so I've started already on the project. I've got a cover, I've got 2 interior pages that I've shown off. I have one that I haven't yet, and yeah. So in this preview, I'm not talking with an editor. I'm not doing anything story wise. It's just going to be me, what I think would be cool to see, and so it might not be as polished as the main book will be, but yeah, that's the idea in that case.
Yeah, that's fair. Before we jump into taking a look at the pages and everything, guys, I'm going to say hi to Casey Charlie Chats. Happy
Casey
Saturday,
Charlie.
all. Do you remember your first comic? What was your first comic, Elliot?
Yeah. I jumped into comics because of Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I'm also a big Ninja Turtles fan. And my first comic, I remember when I jumped into comics, the whole Maximum Carnage saga was going on. And one of I think it was 278. I forgot what number it was, but my brother has it in his house. It's the cover of with Spider-Man, and then Venom and Carnage are jumping at him. The artist was Mark Bagley back in those days, and oh man, that stuff is great stuff. And
nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that 90s era comics, and yeah, that's the first comic that I remember reading.
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
Casey Charlie Chats, to answer your question myself, I have no idea. Now, hail to the Time Prophet.
The Time Prophet, what's going on, man? Yeah. Good to see you, man.
All right. So where would you like to start with the previews?
I have I don't know. I guess we could look at the characters first. I have images that I could share, or I don't know if you'd like to share what you have.
Whatever you would like to do, sir. It's totally fine with me. I love looking at your art. You were one of the first artists I followed after getting onto the nightmare that is Twitter. So
yeah. Twitter's it's crazy stuff. A lot of crazy people.
Yeah.
A lot of cool people also, but you have to filter them out a little bit. But let's see. Let me. Just for let me share this.
And ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for him to pull those up, go ahead and give him a subscribe over at his YouTube channel. It's the pinned link in the live chat. If you're not already subscribed to him, please do so now. Ooh.
And this is what I'm showing right now. This is my main character. His name is, as you can see here, Zadok. Zadok is how you pronounce it.
Zadok.
And
All right.
yeah, he's the main character. He's an 18-year-old kid, and he's going to go on an adventure. And the story is about him. It's about him, and then all the trials and things that he goes through, and then it's a coming of age story. Like you're going to see him like he is right here, but then by the end of the story, he's going to be like a completely different person. His his experiences are going to shape him and who he is as a man, and yeah, so that's the main character. And then this character here, his name is Silas. He's also a main character. He's got a big arc also in the story, and
he looks like a badass dude.
Yeah. He's
he partially reminds me of Siegfried from the Soul Calibur games, but I'll stop.
Oh yeah. No problem at all.
He's my favorite character.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and yeah. So he's this the costume thing that he has on. This is a military armor in this world that they live in. Yeah,
awesome.
this story doesn't take place on Earth. It takes place in another planet, in another world altogether.
Awesome.
And yeah, so he's a military man in the story, and he's going to cross paths with Zadok, and then they're going to learn from each other in the story. And
yeah, so he's ask, is he a priest?
No. He's straight soldier guy character.
All right.
And
infantry.
Let's see who else I have. This is this girl here. This is Zadok's sister. I did some character art also of his family, just so we can get an idea of his family members and who they are. So you can. I think it's really important to focus on family, because nowadays in entertainment, it's family almost gets like swept under the rug, and so so I wanted to focus on his family. Like his parents, for example, are alive. He knows who his mother is. He knows who his father is. They're both alive. They give him advice. Here, for example, this is Rose. This is Zadok's mother.
Okay.
Try to draw something to give like a friendly.
Okay. To it. Real quick before we move on, I would like to point out the fact that you actually made your female characters feminine, and that's actually really awesome to me, because there's too many of these comic book artists that think they can make women look like dudes and still be okay with it, and it's not okay.
No, yeah,
like, I love seeing an artist that understands that femininity has a delicate side to it. That it's not.
Yeah.
My name's Rhonda. Like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel you completely on that, and yeah, I wanted to make sure that the women are women, the men are men. I didn't want to mix any of those things up. Like I wanted to give a certain image that she's a caring person, friendly and nice person, and so that's Zadok's mother. This is Zadok's mother, and then here's his father. His name is Merrick.
Oh, nice.
He's ex-military, and we'll learn more about a little bit about his past in the story also. But yeah, his dad's there, and he's all about his family. He protects them. He provides for them. They're a family of farmers. They come from humble beginnings, I guess we can say, and yeah, so that's his core, his team, his support group, his family, and then that's awesome. Bad guy. And the bad guy.
Oh yeah. Let me see. Which one is the main bad guy?
1 second. Let me. I don't know if I have his picture here. Yeah, here we go. Here is the bad guy. This is the guy that Zadok is going to tangle with. His name is Deathmonger. He's this big monster guy here.
I love the design.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And yeah, so it's like it's this big bulking character. And
that is so badass.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, so in the preview that I'm going to show everybody, it's going to be this character fighting with my main character Zadok. So it's going to be those two guys going at it, and yeah, and the fight and everything you see in this preview, it's not going to happen in the main comic. The main comic has another story to it, but yeah, so that's the character that they fight. And thank you very much, writing with Charlie. I appreciate the kind words. And yeah, so he's the bad guy, but he's not the main bad guy of the comic. The main bad guy is this character here. Sorry.
So the Time Prophet asks if they're drawn on paper or are you using Clip Studio?
No, all of my artwork is completely traditional. Everything is traditional. I work with pencils, inks. I use I have I have some of my tools here. Let's see if I can show this to the people there. I use microns, tech pens, pencils, and yes. Yeah, microns and things like that. And yeah, I do all my art is traditional. I'm working on comic book boards, and yeah, I'm doing this a page at a time. And I do use Clip Studio for touch ups. There's a few things that I need to correct. Like for example, in this image here, this is a character. His name is Necronox. He is the main bad guy of the entire comic. Like the entire comic is going to revolve around his fight against Zadok, and he's the big bad. And this character, Necronox, unleashes the other character. So he has a power set. He's like a sorcerer, and he unleashes the big monster guy on everybody. And so yeah, he's the guy to watch out for. And yeah, this is also drawn traditional, but this left side here, on the left side here, the left side of the cape, on the left side of the page, the page it cuts off, and so I had to go back in traditional and then complete the rest of the cape out. And so I do use digital work tools, but the majority of everything is traditional.
Okay. I'm going to pause right here to just recognize that one of the primary compliments that I hear about Elliot is that he does that kind of stuff with his own work. He goes in and he goes, this is where it got messed up a little bit. So I had to go in and fix it. And or he'll be like, oh, well, that's a little off. Or he critiques his own work as he does it. And he critiques his own work afterwards where he's like, well, I could have done this better. And there's no narcissism in this man whatsoever. Hail Sean Landrigan. Glad you could join us.
What's going on, Sean?
Sir.
How you doing?
Make sure you're subscribed. It's the pinned link in the chat. There you go.
Yeah. My channel. I used to do live streams, but I stopped because my work schedule just doesn't allow for it anymore, and also because the time that I was using for live streams, I want to start using it now for pages. So I'm not streaming on my channel anymore. I am going to start putting out more drawing videos, because now that everybody knows the characters and things, I'll be able to post clips of myself drawing the pages as I do them. So yeah, if you check out the channel, you can see I already have a bunch of drawing videos. There's a bunch of pinups that I've done last year that I've recorded myself drawing them, and I also critique, as Cory mentioned. I also critique my own art. I take a look at some of my artwork from way back in the day. Oh, I'm sorry, not way back in the day, from like a few years ago, and I compare what it was a few years ago to now. I can actually give you an example of that with one of my characters.
Hail Floral from under the rock. A rock. G'day. It's a pleasure to see you, sir. Yeah, I like to look back at my old work, specifically my first on-screen appearance as an actor, just when I need a good cringe. I'm like, you cringe so hard your spine breaks. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's just I think it's good to take a look back at that kind of thing so you can see like where you were when you started and where you are now. And I don't know, I like appreciating that progress, like seeing like the evolution that was there. This image, for example, here is the like an earlier concept of the of this of my Deathmonger character, and so here this is from 2019. So I just got back into drawing again, and this is what he looks like now. So you can see like the change in how I've changed my
Yeah.
I would say improved my art style. So and yeah, so I do all I have videos on my channel where I critique my past work, like things like this, and then and point out where I think now I could do better. And yes, I'm always on the lookout for trying to improve. I love receiving critiques. I always keep shouting out this web page. It's called penciljack.com. I post my art there a lot, and I get a lot of great critiques of things that I never thought that I needed to work on. It's that's
That's
one
good.
thing that yeah, one thing that I see with a lot of artists is that they draw, they post it, they get good feedback, and then they think that what they're doing is good, and in most cases, or in some cases, they are completely unaware of some concepts that could greatly improve their art. And so and in some of my videos, I try to point out some of those mistakes that I see,
Hmm.
and and yeah, so I mean, because it improves a lot, and I think it's always good to take a look at that and to get better. This black and white is a
So
style with you.
yeah, he asks if you do color work.
No, I tried doing colors. I really did try doing it. I got the Clip Studio, and like one of the reasons why I got it was to start experimenting with digital colors. But no, I've done a few pieces. I liked how my colors look, but I know it's not at the level where I would like to see it in the comic book format. Um, like I'll show you. Let's see if I can pick out
The
another
Time
piece here
Prophet
that I have.
also says some people over critique, especially artists. So don't listen to everything. This is true.
Yeah, yeah, that's also true. Yeah, I 100% agree with that because sometimes people say things just for the sake of saying things, um, and so
Yep.
yeah, that's also something.
He pushed the wrong button or lost his internet. In the meantime, hail Ryan Roger Athay. Hey folks, hope all is well. Now lurking, have a great stream. Thank you, sir, and I hope you have a wonderful day yourself. And he's back. Hello, sir.
I kicked myself out.
I've
They
I've
shouldn't.
done that from time to time.
They shouldn't put that share button right next to the exit the studio button.
I agree with that 100%.
But yeah, I'm sorry to the people in the chat. But yeah, this picture here, for example, these are my colors. Like I did the coloring on this piece here, and I think it looks good. But I mean, I know there's colorists out there that can dance circles around me. So I think I'd rather leave the coloring for the colorists and the lettering for the letterers because yeah, it's just a lot to take on. I
Well,
used to I used
do,
to think that. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
would you like to learn how to do those things properly and stuff? Like, is that a goal or?
When I first started toying with it, that was the idea. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna learn about this, and I'm gonna learn about that. And I thought it wasn't that difficult, but there's so many like coloring is just another world of art altogether. There's like color theory and then learning all kinds of combinations, selecting a palette, and it's just so much. And I got advice one time from a professional artist that was saying um, like one thing that's bad with being the jack of all trades is that you never master any of the trades that you work. You know? So it's and so he told me like he told me that the fact that you're experimenting with coloring is great, but I personally would recommend you just stick to drawing. And I remember at the time I took it like wait, so this means like I don't. Well, is he saying that I suck at coloring? And it's like I
Yeah.
took it the wrong way.
Mhm.
But no, it was words of wisdom because it is true. Like I could really take a lot of time trying to learn coloring, lettering, and things like this. But I personally think that that time would be much better applied to me continuing to improve in my drawing and things like that. So yeah, I'll leave the coloring to the colorists because yeah, it's too much. I think.
So Time Prophet says one bit of advice: keep away from the airbrush. Use the blending
Yeah.
tools instead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's also another thing that I noticed about my colors that I do a lot of this stuff here that I don't know. I think it innately like just off my first impression that it would look good. No, but no, I mean there's colorists out there that like the Time Prophet mentions, no, that blending and other techniques that are much better that I have that I just don't have a good understanding of just yet. And yeah, and I'm not in a hurry to learn that stuff either. So yeah, I'll keep myself away from the colors. I'll leave it to the guys that know. Like we can compare, for example, this pick with with the with my cover. Oh, and let's see if I can find it.
All right, real quick, I'm just going to point out. Time Prophet says I need to work on the British accent a little bit, and it's because he's British and can hear a fake British accent a mile off. Well,
Oh, me too.
that's
Wow,
that's
nice.
most British people are all like, that is the worst British accent I've ever heard in my entire life. Please don't ever do that again, or I will slap your mother.
That's awesome.
Just saying. Grant Gregory gives me the same shit about my Australian accent. He's like,
Wow.
man, that's terrible. And I'm like,
I
I
dig
don't
it.
have to fool you. I have to fool the Yanks. That's all I have to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Crikey.
I'm not even going to try to say anything because I don't want to make a fool of myself. But yeah, that's
So yeah,
yeah,
I'm going to challenge people to an accent
an accent.
day at some point. I'm going to be like, so, comics division, give me your best British accent.
Yeah.
And he's going to be like,
Yeah,
no.
how do you get better at that? Like, do you like just listen to more?
I started off as a mimic and then I went into refining techniques.
Oh, wow.
I can't think of who it is right now, but there are some great YouTube channels that teach you like the finer points to all of it. But Dick Van Dyke would be proud of me.
Nice.
He says I'm British and I can't do a British accent. Well,
That's
there you
crazy.
go.
I wonder what constitutes for a British accent. I wouldn't know how to
Honestly.
pick any of that stuff out.
There's so many of them, you can't really
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah. That's the impression that I get. Like, there's so many. Like I think London has its own accent, and then outside of London, there's so
Wales
many others.
does.
Yeah.
Are Cockneys from?
I could pick out like Scottish, Irish, and English. I could probably pick out those, but I think even
Between
within
the three,
them,
yeah.
yeah, I think even within them, there's like really,
There are truly subtle differences between the two,
yeah,
between the three and such. There are.
crazy stuff. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the art.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
hear about
Oh,
his
yeah,
art
yeah.
forms, not mine. Anyway.
Yeah, and this image, for example, this is the cover to the preview. This is the cover to the preview book that I'm working on, and yeah, you can just immediately off the bat just see like how much better this is when you give it to a professional who knows what he's doing. Like I think this cover came out so great, and
I love this. This is like the coloring adds life to it, but the black and white of this is also just fantastic.
Yeah, and it adds so much to it. There's I when I gave this to the colors, I told them like for the background, because I didn't have much of a background in the line art. I was like, for the background, just do what you think would work, and just I wanted to give that person also room to do what they like to do, and they just completely knocked it out. And this is something, for example, that I can't emulate. Like I'm not going to be able to do this no matter how many years I dedicate to colors. Like it's just like a knack for coloring that. Yeah, I just leave it to the guys that know, man, because
Well, I
yeah,
mean, it's awesome.
yeah,
And Time Prophet says, I see nothing wrong here with your colors, Elliot.
yeah. These aren't mine.
This
These aren't
was Matt
this right here.
Yackey.
Yeah, Matt Yankee. He's a professional colorist. He's done work for Marvel. He's also I don't know if the disciple would be the word, but like he's worked under Rob Liefeld, and so Rob Liefeld, like he's worked with him directly, and I've had the pleasure of having Matt color another piece for another comic campaign. I did a pinup once, and he did the colors for that pinup, and I was like, just I fell in love with his colors, what he did, and how he brought out certain things in the piece, and and I really like that he respects the line art. Like he doesn't muddle it. He doesn't try to hide some of the things that I did in the piece, and yeah, when I did this piece, I did it with him in mind, because I knew that he would be able to bring stuff to my lines that not other colorists could. No, because it's also a thing like of styles. You can't just throw any colorist to any set of lines. Like things normally mesh well in certain cases, and I thought that Matt would do a really good job, and I was not disappointed at all, and just really liked what he did, and
Me
he
too.
did it so well that it got me thinking like seriously about trying to get a colorist for the comic, because initially I had no plans on coloring the interiors. I was just going to do like a grayscale type thing, but now I'm seriously trying to like find ways to like generate some money and hopefully
Well,
get a colorist. Not, I don't think I'll be able to hire someone to the degree of Matt here, but at least put the book in colors.
well,
Uh,
here's my idea on that, Elliot. And I'm not a business professional.
yeah, yeah,
I'm hardly successful as it is. But if you finish the preview, do the grayscale, and then you get into, say, the first book, just doing the grayscale stuff, you can then possibly get enough funding to do the coloring and do you know, do it as
yeah,
a, if you bought book one, when you buy book two, you get a free copy of colored book
yeah, yeah, something
one
like
or
that. Yeah,
something like that, and it'll generate more interest and it will give you more selling points. But you could start out with the grayscale books and then move your way into the colored books after you've
yeah,
established yourself, because a lot of people do like the grayscale comics.
yeah,
um, it's simpler, you know. There's slightly less detail, but it's still like visceral, especially
yeah,
when you know that all of it's hand drawn. Like I'm a graphologist. I
yeah.
study human movement and stuff in art,
I
handwriting,
remember.
all
Yeah,
this other stuff, and I I love your art.
thank
It
you. I
actually,
appreciate.
like, it shows a level of passion to it that actually earmarks a good artist and a, like, good person to back, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I try my best with each piece, and yeah. So I mean, my original plan was to do the grayscale, and we'll see what happens, because I mean, I'm working with what I realistically can put out right now. So I mean, right now it's just me doing the line art. I can do the grayscale. Um, Nothing too fancy, but at least, like you say, you can at least get the image right. I could highlight areas where, and highlight and make some certain areas pop in an image that I need to, and then yeah, if the time came later on, I can get more funds. Then yeah, definitely, I would like to take a look at the coloring side of it also, and yeah. So I was going to make an announcement, or I am going to make an announcement. Or at least a video announcing this on my channel about selling some of my art, and so with the idea of collecting funds to hire a colorist, and I'll also eventually have to open up commissions again to so I can get some more money, and yeah, and throw it all out to the colorist, because yeah, I really like my work in color, so hopefully I can make
well,
that happen.
that's fantastic. I mean, it's awesome to see someone who has standards for their work.
Yeah.
You're clearly not just doing this for $1. So, I mean, you're passionate about it. You love what you do. I can tell from the work that you put out, and
Mhm.
I've loved watching your progression. I think one of my your grayscale Venom, I think from either 2019, 2020,
Yeah.
maybe it was 2021. Those years kind of squished together in my brain, but like your grayscale Venom that you put out, like I know not much color
Yeah.
goes into Venom, but like it was great. It was intense. I
Yeah.
love
Thank you.
what you do, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you, man.
biased
I
on all
appreciate
this, by the way. So
it. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. I try my best with everything, and yeah, it's all a constant just looking at my art, and then at the beginning I'd put it on that website that I mentioned, and then I get feedback on it, and I take a look at the feedback and then see what is it that could actually improve it, what is it that couldn't, study it. um, like for example, I heard about proportions, and I had never heard of the term before with art. I wasn't that exposed to art terms like that, and then when I found out what it was, and then how it just changes the way the figures look, I was like, okay, well, obviously I need to get better at this, because if I don't, then my characters are going to look all like tiny
squishy.
and
Yeah.
squished up, and so this
Squish.
I learned a bunch of concepts like that through those trial and errors,
Heck
and
yeah.
yeah, just my just me looking back, and okay, this arm was drawn completely wrong. How can I make it better? What can I do? And then in the next drawing, try to make it work. And then and yeah, and I've been hopefully and thankfully I've been able to improve on that, and I'm just going to continue working with it moving forward.
Hell yeah. So the Time Prophet asks, which artists do you admire? This was a
Oh
question I
man,
was curious about as well.
yeah. When I first got into comics, I was a big fan of. I came into comics back in the Image days, so those artists from back in those days were they. It was them that really brought my attention to art, like Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, um, uh, Mark Bagley for Spider Man. Like, oh, I just love his art. And now, as I'm learning more about it, I'm looking at other artists also, and right now, for example, I'm a big fan of David Finch. I'm a big fan of Mark Morales, who's an inker. I love the way he inks. I also Sandra Hope that is an inker for DC. I'm also a big fan of hers. I love Greg Capullo. Also, he does some incredible work. What I admire about Greg is he says he never uses references. I mean, and I'm just astonished by everything that he's able to do, because he can. It looks like pictures. Like, I mean, I've seen some of the pages that he's done for Creech, and some of the pages that he's done for this other side project that he's working on, and like scenes like in a living room or in a library or in an office, that he's just able to like put so many details, and just great stuff, just really great stuff, and the emotions that he can elicit with some of his character works, just, oh man, just great stuff. And Brett Booth is another artist that I admired. I was happy to see him again, because I saw some of his earlier work in back in the '90s, and when I saw his work now, it's like, yeah, he's also improved a lot as an artist, and there's so much energy with his work, and yeah, I'm a big fan of his figure work, and I tried to emulate some of that also, and there's a lot of good artists out there right now, and thank God to the internet, because you're able to see some of these artists put out their artwork all the time. Most of them also are really open to drawing. Yeah, I'm also right now I'm hooked on Richard Friend's channel. He's got a YouTube channel also. He does a bunch of drawing tutorials, and I take a look at that constantly. He's just awesome. He seems like an awesome guy, and then he's really open about his technique. He doesn't try to hide anything. He shows you everything what it is, and yeah, I'm a big fan of theirs. And I also have an incredible appreciation now for the older stuff, like Gil Kane, Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby, all the legends from back in those days.
I
Also, I have
actually
a
have
greater appreciation.
I have a related
Buscema.
question to that, but Time Prophet says, check out art of Aaron Blaze. He
Blaze.
is an
Yeah.
ex-Disney artist who has his own YouTube channel. He is brilliant.
Yeah.
All right. Make sure to check
I'll
that
do
out,
that. I'll
ladies and
definitely do
gentlemen.
that. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
So what are your thoughts on Pablo Marcos, since you're Peruvian?
Pablo Marcos. Who's that guy?
All right. So this man did... I'm going to pop yours down real quick. He was best known for his work on the Conan series.
He's a Peruvian artist.
He's from Lima, as a matter
Oh
of fact.
wow! Oh,
He
I had
did
no
Red
idea.
Sonja.
I'm a disgrace to my
Oh no, dude!
own country.
This is one of the
Oh,
things I
nice.
love
I'll check
about
him
doing
out.
these art. Yeah, so his Red Sonja
Nice.
is a fantastic piece there. He did numerous books for several different companies, but he's one of my favorite black and white artists.
Oh, I'll check him out for sure. Nice. I
Like,
had no idea.
yeah,
I was there's well, up until like a few seconds ago, I had thought that the only Peruvian artist that ever made it to the mainstream was this kid. His name is Diego Olortegui. He's currently an artist for Marvel, and he's Peruvian. He lives here in Lima. Like I think I've never met him, but yeah, he's the only artist that I've known up until now that's from Peru, and I had no idea that about Pablo Marcos. I'll definitely check out his work and study his
yes,
stuff.
his Conan stuff, man. It's
Yeah,
brutal.
I'll check it out.
It's detailed. Oh my gosh, it's so
Nice.
good.
Nice.
I do
I
absolutely.
feel embarrassed. I didn't know who that was.
No, you're good. See, that's one of the things I love about being able to do
Crazy.
these types of streams is like everybody gets exposed to something new.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, because people who don't know you get exposed to your art, you get exposed to things that like I just randomly have nestled in my brain, and
Nice.
it's a good time. And then of course we learn a lot of things from
definitely.
the Time Prophet. He's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I have some starred comments here I want to get to real quick. There's two from Time Prophet. He says, I've spent a good hour spell checking the first chapter of my book. You won't believe how many spelling errors I've made.
Man.
I am relearning drawing on Clip Studio at the moment.
Nice.
I find drawing on the tablet harder than on paper. I've heard that quite a bit. There's a difference in like pressure techniques and everything, like how you have to hold it. And of course, Writing with Charlie chimes in with, I've had to give up writing my book. Every time I spell check to reread it, I'd spend an hour writing. I tried to make it more clear and reword it and never got the characters out the door. That happens.
Nice.
Get wrapped up in the details and poof, it's gone. Yep. That's happened to me numerous times. Look at the amount of projects I've started on YouTube and not finished. Yeah. Just saying. But
definitely.
So huge Spider-Man fan. You have been drawing since you were 8 years old, which is fantastic. You take inspiration from a lot of different people. You're not afraid of being critiqued. I would like to say to anyone watching, remember, there's a difference between critiquing someone and being a dick criticizing them.
Yeah, definitely. If anybody in the chat ever, or anybody watching this later, or anybody just taking a look at my art has ever has anything to say, like I think this is wrong, or I think please be my guest and just destroy it. I have no problem because I learn from it. Like there's things that because as an artist, like I'm focused on it. My eyes are on it, and then when someone else looks at it, there's always a fresh perspective in that case. So, yeah, I'm all about it. Yeah, I have no problem receiving critique and yeah. So, and it's obviously it's obviously easy to see, when someone's trying to actually help you versus when someone's just trying to be an a-hole about
indeed.
Yeah, so you can see that stuff. And
so we're in the last 15 minutes. Normally I would have us like wind down, but I want to fill the last 15 minutes. So I'm going to ask you some controversial questions now. What are your thoughts on the modern comic book industry in the mainstream?
Yeah, when I came back into drawing, like I was just completely disenfranchised, disillusioned, like just completely disappointed altogether when I saw um, where
Yeah.
comics was at.
Yeah.
Um, like for example, with Marvel, they did this thing a few years ago. I think they're still doing it now. This Hellfire gala thing where like the heroes are dressed up in these like fashion clothes, and I was like, that's not the X-Men. That's not who I remember back in the day. Or for example, like Joker being pregnant. I saw something recently. Yeah, it's like this isn't what I remember about comics. Though. So
That
yeah,
was
I
the
saw I
dumbest
saw that
panel
stuff.
I've ever seen in my
Yeah, it
life.
was crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff, and yeah, I don't know. And yeah, it's just the craziest things that I've seen, and so I don't like it. So I'm stepping away from it. I haven't bought a Marvel comic in a long time, and
Same.
I just go to the back issues and just
Yep.
check out the old stuff. So yeah, that's why I've come across the indie scene, and particularly with group with Comics Gate, and and I've grown and I've seen like the work that they're putting out, and seen the things that they're the characters they're creating, the stories they're telling, and yeah, just really like it. I like the energy. I like the creative flow juices that are flowing in the indie scene, and uh, and yeah, when I saw that all these people were making comics, putting out their characters, it finally dawned on me that I could actually do the same thing also, and so yeah, so I decided to throw my hat in the ring and put out a comic that I like, that I'm passionate about,
Hell
and
yeah.
yeah, and yeah. So I mean, I'm not a fan of the mainstream stuff at all. I don't follow it, and I try my best not to comment on it either, because I think commenting on it, or watching, for example, there's a bunch of videos, a bunch of channels out there that dedicate their time to dissecting and analyzing the latest thing that the mainstream has done, and I just think that's free publicity for them. So I don't
Yeah.
talk about them. I was like, yeah, screw it. I'm gonna dedicate myself to my own stuff, and
Uh,
yeah. So that's where
uh,
that's where I that's all I have to say about that.
so Time Prophet asks if you write your stories. So I think we covered
Yeah,
that pretty well.
yeah. That's also another thing about comics that I have come to realize is very important, because I have backed a lot of indie comics, um, and I have noticed that, in my opinion, there's certain things about stories that are lacking in some cases, and so I want to make sure that I don't have that problem. And one thing that was constantly recommended to me was to get an editor in terms of the story, not to get someone to take a look at it, take a look at the project just in general. And I didn't pay too much attention to it at first, but I worked on an anthology comic last year, and I got a firsthand experience, knowing what it's like working with an editor. And yeah, I'm totally on board with that. The editors, they give a fresh set of eyes on everything. Um, they look at like the execution of the project as a whole, and
Yeah.
so like they will say like these colors work, these colors won't. This panel is great, this panel is not. Change this. Maybe this should be positioned in a different way, and they give you a lot of good feedback that serves the story. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great. I think it's good that creators out there should look for an editor. I have an editor that I'm going to work with in my comic. Um, I'm writing it myself. I'm writing it myself. Like, it's a story that I envision, but I do want to pass it through an editor so they see what things could be improved, or what things I can take out, um, and things like that.
All right.
So yeah.
So Time Prophet also asks, can you tell us about your storyboarding process? How much detail do you put into your boards and planning before you start?
Oh, uh,
Huh.
if you If you don't mind, if you just give me a second, I'll come back
Yeah,
and
you're
show you
good.
exactly what I do. I just want to turn off my camera just for a second. I got a book that I'm gonna go get. 1 second, just 1 second.
All right. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you're checking out TalksALot Trinkets. Links in the description. I'm selling the Total Control Variant 1 right now. I've actually successfully sold my first items in the line, and it makes me very happy to do so. Until the end of today, it's 23% off. That's January 7th for all those watching on the replay. And a new design will be dropping February 1st. Yes, indeed.
I'm back. Sorry.
Hail.
And yeah, so I have this small notebook. It's just pages and pages, and what I have, I don't know if you can see it here, but I just scribble all kinds of things that come to my mind, and I write this stuff out. My writing is also traditional, so I write everything out. Um, and then once I yeah, and then once this is just the story itself. Like I've yet to do anything, but for this preview book, I got this. I saw professional artist Kenneth Rocafort. He's got like a book like this, and he scribbles in it like every day just to make sure that he draws. And this has helped me out a lot. I didn't think it would be as helpful, but I do my thumbnails on this. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me share also. If you can see this. This is my thumbnail for the first panel, the second panel. I don't want to spoil anything.
Mhm.
And then here's like the face-to-face thing. I had an extra panel here, but I decided to change it. But yeah. So here, this is a panel. I don't want to. Yeah, here's the. I sketch things out here like this, and you can see. I don't know if the reflection of light.
If you back
And
it up
so
just a little bit.
yeah, here we
Yeah.
go.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, loose pencils. Like I just scribble what I think might work, and yeah, I've done this. I've already thumbnailed all 10 pages, so I know exactly what I
Nice.
have to draw, and yeah, I know exactly what I have to draw, and so all I do now is just sit down and put everything to paper, and it's helped me out a lot. Like because one of the things as an artist is like you get the piece of paper is blank, and then like you're like, what do I draw? Like where do I start? So doing thumbnails like this is just so much easier for me to just I start and then know exactly where to draw my lines. I start sketching everything out and yeah, so that's my process. And if you allow me to share this with you, this is my the page one of my book of the preview.
Yeah.
And
Full screen.
and this, for example, what I'm sharing here. This is page one, the thumbnail. Now you can see that the two characters are here. They're facing off. He picks up the sword here. I draw another character here who's on the ground, dead. Then the face off. So this is what I had envisioned, and then here is the final product. You can see the two characters facing off, and then he's picking up the sword, and then we have the face off. So that's how I'm approaching. That's how I'm creating the book, and I'm going to do that with all of the pages, and I'm planning on using this same process for the main book also, and yeah, that's how I get it done.
That's awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So Time Prophet also asks to something I said while you were away. What is a total control variant? I'm glad you asked, actually, because that's my new design. I have no graphic abilities, but this is Total Control Variant 1. It's available
Nice.
on everything from hats to t-shirts to coffee mugs, backpacks, teddy bears, you name it. It's available. Well, almost. There's buttons, there's stickers. It's fantastic. Check it out. My spread shop. No, wait. It's TalksALot Trinkets at TalksALotTrinkets.myspreadshop.com. Something like that. I don't know. Links in the description to
Nice.
check it out. I'm doing a new variant every month, by the way.
And it's like a variant of a logo. Like, is this
Yeah,
your...
that specific logo that I did.
Nice.
I'm actually writing a song to go along with it. I have 12 or 13 variants right now, but
nice.
I also have the banana for scale shirt. You can imagine what that is. So go check that out too. Ha.
Wow. Sounds great, man.
Yeah. It's going to be fantastic. But thank you very much for, I hope every variant will be varied. It will. It will. I would share the variants with you, but I would share them, but that would ruin the fun for me.
Nice.
Just saying, because I'm weird like that. But so Elliot, go ahead and pitch your channel, dude. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Oops. Yeah, my name is Elliot Rodriguez. You can see my name right here, and I'm on YouTube. Yeah, I'm mostly active on YouTube and on Twitter, so you can find me on Twitter. On Twitter, I post artwork. I've recently posted like a clip of a pinup that I'm working on right now, and so yeah, so you can follow me there. You can also follow me on YouTube. I have a bunch of videos that I've posted before. I haven't posted anything new as of 2023 just yet. I'm going to start posting next week. So I have a few videos that are ready for that. And so yeah, so you can catch me on YouTube. You can catch me on Twitter. And then right now I am closed for commissions. I'm not taking any commissions at the moment. I'm going to focus my time on getting these 10 pages finished. After I do the 10 pages, I will open up commissions for a moment, so I can just get money for just collect some funds for the book, and yeah, then hopefully by June or July, I'm assuming, of this year, I should be starting on the actual main book. And yeah, but I'll keep you guys informed on my channel. So any announcements that I make, I'll post them there. And yeah, until I have any new announcements, I'll just continue drawing, and
heck yeah,
knocking this stuff out.
Well, keep up the great work, sir. It's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you very much.
As far as I'm concerned, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here and you haven't pushed the subscribe button, you should.
Yeah, please. Yes, subscribe.
Let's be honest. Everyone says I'm criminally undersubbed because I'm talented, but they really just feel sorry for me. I would like you to subscribe just because. But anyway,
exactly. Subscribe.
Tomorrow, I should be on Midnight Prism with Drew. Monday, nice. I will be doing my first Cory's Corner, where I leave it open to a broader panel. And let's see, Monday nights, Yelling at Parked Cars. Wednesday, around 5, I will be on Lasso of Truth's birthday stream. Check that out. She's an awesome lady. She's one of my favorite people of all time on the internet, period. Like, go check her out. She's going to tell you how it is. Then Thursday, I will be on Thursday Night Throwdown with the Dix Division Boys. And then I'm going to take a break on Friday, hopefully. And by that, I mean go to work all day. But
yeah,
anyway,
please be sure to sub to Cory's channel. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, please do. Also, find me over on Twitch. It's Sir TalksALot YT. I stream most nights. Doing Cyberpunk 2077. Last night was a free roam night. The cut down version will be available on YouTube later, but if you want to check it out now, go check out the full stream on Twitch. Doubt that link is in the description, so you'll find it somewhere. I made an announcement video. Go find it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's our hour, and stay sexy. Don't get murdered. Have a wonderful time. Peace. Bye now. I pushed the wrong button.